Solo Acoustic Musician. A Practical How-To Guide. Introduction. It was early spring in 1990 and I had just turned 14. I asked a close friend who was 16 and already driving if he would take me to a bar so I could ask for a gig. I had a conversation with the owner and I walked out of that bar with a big smile on my face, having booked the first paying gig of my life. Getting that first gig on my calendar gave me a rush of confidence, and before I had even played, I had lined up 3 more places to play. I was hooked, and I knew what I wanted to do with my life. It did not take long before I was performing every Friday and Saturday night at bars and restaurants all over town. That was 30 years ago, and I have learned a lot along the way. I consider this book to be a stripped-down, uncomplicated version of a fairly complex adventure into the world of being a solo acoustic musician, or SAM, based on my unique personal perspective and experiences. When there were no rules to follow or classes to take, I set out to create my own path, and now I am sharing what I've learned with you. From forming a song list to booking a date to performing, I had to learn, sometimes repeatedly, from my many failures and also my successes. This book provides career advice for anyone, novice or professional, who wants to earn money as a working SAM. It includes guidance on performing in bars and restaurants, planning ahead for all kinds of situations, and being prepared for them. Most of this book seems to be common sense to me. But I know sometimes we all need a third-party perspective to help us move forward and grow into a better version of ourselves. Every SAM explores this lifestyle in their own way. One thing that's interesting to me about our particular profession is that we can play other people's songs and make a living. You cannot do the same thing in most other professions. You would not expect to see someone author a cover book. By the same token, you cannot make a living telling someone else's jokes. A cover comedian is a non-existent thing. If you tell someone else's jokes for money, you will probably be ostracized by the comedy community. It is just not acceptable in their world. One obvious goal of this book is to help younger up-and-coming solo acoustic musicians avoid some of the mistakes that I made when I was starting out. Also, I believe that kids whose parents are taking an active interest in helping them succeed at becoming full-time solo acoustic musicians will probably find some valuable tips in this book, too. When you are a SAM, you are on your own. Yes, you can network with other musicians, and yes, you have your family and friends for support, but ultimately you are on your own. You can make a living, play music, and have a productive life all at the same time. There has never been a better time to be a SAM. If you are in a band, then you can go on stage with a few other people, which is an upside, but the downside is that the bars and restaurants that will book you will pay less. It doesn't really make any sense that they will pay $150 to $300 for a solo artist and then only pay $300 to $500 for a full band. It is horrible math. But for a SAM it doesn't matter. I make more money and also avoid all the pitfalls of trying to book a 5-piece band. I only have one schedule and calendar to look after. I pay my bills on time and I use my skills to take a vacation each year. There are lots of schools of thought on how to do this as an occupation, but these are my ideas and experiences. I really love what I do for a living, but don't get me wrong, everything in life has its ups and downs. This profession is no different. There will be trying times and times of absolute positivity. To make a career or lifestyle out of being a SAM, you will be tested. In order to stay on top of your game and flourish for many years, you will need to have a thick skin and deal with constant criticism. For whatever reason, people complain way more than they show appreciation. So laugh it off and don't let it stop you from pursuing your dreams of making a living playing music. I started out with lofty goals of getting a record deal and becoming an iconic star of my generation. To be clear, every 12-year-old who picks up a guitar probably has the same intentions. I never gave up hope or settled on a profession I didn't want to do, but I did find a way to make a living and sustain a lifestyle that fulfills my desires to make people smile. I truly enjoy playing and singing songs for people. It has been what I have done my whole life, and although there are good days and bad days, it has been the one constant in my life. People, places, and things come and go, but who I am and what I am remains a constant. I don't feel any regret in becoming who I am. I became a Sam, and I have come to understand that I am a valuable part of my community. I have made friends, made a living, and dealt with many different situations, all of which have made me a better person and a better musician. I don't sit in a cubicle at an office, I don't report to a boss, I'm not cutting grass on a golf course or lifting heavy boxes in a warehouse. I can move to any city that I want to, and I can dictate my own life. I have skills that allow me to travel the world and see things that other people save up for. I wish I'd had a book like this to read when I was starting out. I hope that you will find the following information helpful on your journey. Have fun, stay the course, and enjoy your life as a fellow solo acoustic musician. SoloAcousticMusician.com